The traitor theory might actually have a pretty big plot twist. This might actually end up shedding new light on Mukaku and many of the characters that are actually involved with this event, and also change our perspective on a specific character that I'll talk about in this video. However, before we get into that, I want to talk about the reason why I thought the traitor theory was unlikely. I think unpacking this reason can help a lot when it comes to understanding why this could be a major plot twist. Because I did do an analysis of the Kakegahara Forest incident, and I said the traitor theory was the least likely. The reason I gave for why I thought it was the least likely, even though I thought it was one of course, the possibilities of what happened on that day, was because it didn't seem as though the last Nico was blamed for what happened to Mukaku's students. Togita, or Oma's master, simply doesn't blame the last Nico for what happened on that day. He doesn't even seem like he hates him that much. I don't think it's really that controversial to say, especially if you reread that flashback, that Oma's master really fought Nico, the last Nico, Tiger Nico, to protect Oma. His entire reason for fighting the last Nico and trying to kill him, basically, was to protect Oma from him. It didn't seem as though there was this huge grudge that Oma's master had against Tiger Nico. But another thing I also found odd was that Mukaku also doesn't voice any real bad sentiments against the last Nico. He doesn't seem to hate him, so far at least. The only person we know Mukaku hates, like confirmed he hates this person and wants to kill him, is Shen Wulong. And so I looked at that entire situation and found it quite odd, although this was before we realized Mukaku hated Shen Wulong. But even now, Tiger Nico doesn't necessarily seem like he was the bad guy in that situation. This isn't to say that Tiger Nico or the last Nico isn't a bad guy at all. It's just that I found it very odd that no one was really blaming him. And the fact that now his side of the story, which I doubted at first, because I was like, look, I'm kind of skeptical about the last Nico's story because he's known for deceiving others. He may have told Setsuna this, just to give him more of a justification to do what he was already, wanting to do. Setsuna wanted to kill Togita, Oma's master. So this story would help further that goal. But now that it's confirmed, I kind of had to take a step back and think about what that could mean. And a few of the readers of Kengan that were commenting on my video sort of came to a similar conclusion as I did. And that is the fact that I probably made a very huge mistake in that video. And that mistake is assuming that the traitor had to be the last Nico or Tiger Nico. I think that was a very big mistake, because if the demon dwelling among them isn't actually the last Nico, then everything kind of makes sense, at least to a certain extent. And so I'm now a part of the camp that thinks the traitor actually isn't the last Nico, but rather one of the other students, and that Tiger Nico may have been influenced by that event or something like that, right? But ultimately, he's innocent in that situation. And ultimately, I think that's the plot twist. I think this could explain why Mukaku went missing for such a long time. It does sort of explain what my gripe was with that situation, although I could be wrong in my interpretation. So I'm a bit cautious when it comes to my own interpretation of the scenario. Now, I've heard some people said one of the students is actually Shen. I'm not too sure about that. That seems a bit out there, if I'm gonna be honest. But we haven't seen any worm members yet. So there's still a little bit, I would say, some room for that theory, I guess. Although the hair color change, yeah, you kinda have to deal with that. But this could also mean is that the advance or the possessing spirit might be a huge point of debate between the Nico masters, or Mukaku and Tiger Nico, versus Demon's Bane. I think this is gonna be a very big plot point now. But yeah, that's it. Fairly short video. Wanted to talk about the possible plot twist that I see, and I'm not alone in what I'm seeing. And yeah, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Take it easy.